Yeah, that is very interesting. Yeah. Boy, times are changing quickly. We're with John Greathouse. John, thank you so much for joining us. I know we're going to see you next week.
Yeah, good luck, Walter.
You can
Take care, John.
Send your questions in, and you can go to coworkradio.com. And again, we thank you for your time. You are listening to KZSB 1290, and we'll be back right after this.
What's that?
This? The newest online business banking around.
Can you initiate wires and approve transfers?
Yes.
Pay bills?
Check.
Cash management?
Of course.
All business, all online, all on your phone?
You bet. My computer, too. It's Montecito Bank and Trust's new business online banking. It works as hard as I do.
Huh. Montecito Bank and Trust.
You got it. Montecito Bank and Trust. Behind every great community is a great bank. Montecito.bank. Member FDIC.
Do you have a special event coming up? Go to Zoto's for all your party needs. At Zoto's, they offer packages for birthday parties, corporate and team building events, accompanied, of course, with a light show, DJ, delicious food, bowling, and full bar. Call 967-0128, where the staff will help you plan and execute an exciting event, all within your budget. Go to Zotos.com to book your party now, because when you're having an event, it's got to be Zoto's. Hi, it's Catherine Raymock. Are you buying or selling a home? See Compass Realtor Terry Ryken. I went to Terry because of his reputation and experience, but was quickly taken by his genuine enthusiasm. It's that combination that truly sets him apart. Terry specializes in properties in Montecito, Hope Ranch, Santa Barbara, and Santa Ynez Valley, and has 39 years of experience as an agent and broker. There are so many realtors to choose from, but only one Terry Ryken. Find out for yourself. Google search Terry Ryken.
Welcome back to Co-Work Radio. I'm Jane Walker-Wood.
And I'm Catherine Raymock.
We are here with Rashelle Monet Smith, who is the founder of the Umbii Dog Bed, which is basically a doggy playpen without walls. Now, Rashelle studied entrepreneurship and business at Santa Barbara City College and also was accepted to the very prestigious UCSB GEM Summer Accelerator program. How are you doing, Rashelle?
I am feeling fabulous. How are you today?
We are both really good. I tell you, I love that Umbii is not like a cage, but could you explain to our audience how it does work?
So basically there's a dog bed and then a removable platform slides into the bed and a tether comes up through the center and attaches to a specialized harness that I designed. So because the dog can't walk off of the bed, it's essentially held down by the dog's own weight.
So who's your target audience, doggy audience?
So there's two. There are dogs that are recovering from surgery as well as people who have puppies or dogs who have not yet learned how to behave in the world around them yet.
Which is all my dogs.
Isn't it? It's a better option, obviously, than to use a crate, right? That would be the other option, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. There's people that absolutely love their crates. It works for their dogs. This is basically a crate without the cage, so it allows you to interact with your dog. Crates would be better used for like if you're leaving your dog at home alone by themselves. This is really something to keep your dog with a limited area but still be able to like interact
like that.
with
So
them.
If you have kids, they can still approach the dog and play with the dog and cuddle rather than hitting their faces against the crate wall.
Well, even better, your kids can train the dog. So basically, if you have a dog that jumps and you're worried that your dog is going to jump on the kid, you could have the kid have a treat, give your child a treat, and then make the dog sit. And if the dog is jumping still, they can just step back and kind of ignore the behavior. And then as soon as the dog sits, they can give them a treat.
How long does it take a dog to understand? I can't go very far here.
It depends on the dog, of course. There's some dogs that they get it immediately. We don't recommend that you just put the dog on the bed and attach the dog to it. Basically, step one would be you put the dog on the bed. The dog is like, oh, this is like a nice, comfy place. You let the dog choose the spot, and then you put the harness on the dog. And then over time, like 3 days, the dog realizes that's his spot, and then you could hook them onto it.
So how did you come up with this idea? Where did it come from?
So I was I kept getting kicked out of my apartment because I have this dog. His name's Rhett Butler, and he was
Couldn't be the name, right?
yeah, he's insane. So he would lunge at the windows and attack the blinds. He loved couches. Those were his favorite chew toy. So basically, what happened was I had a 30-day period where I got like a 30-day notice, and I had to like either come up with, a solution for these problems or be homeless with my dog or get rid of my dog, which would like never, ever happen. So I went out and got a 6x6 foot plywood board and put a cable in the middle of it and then attached him to it. So basically he couldn't get off the bed.
That is, but you have always had that creative mind, because you were telling me that you didn't know what to do with it. You didn't even know what entrepreneurship was. Mm-hmm. But at the age of 10, you came up with something for cutting pumpkins. What was that?
Yeah, so I came up with something called pumpkin poppers, and I had cut my finger carving pumpkins. So I thought, like, what if the knife was, in the shape of a triangle, and you can just put it on the pumpkin and hammer it in and then pop it out. Not only could you, create more jack-o'-lanterns faster, but there's a less...
This must have terrified your mother. So you just want a nice daughter playing with the Barbie, putting some lipstick on.
No, I was definitely the kid rolling in the mud and climbing trees.
Wow. I love that. Of course, and then you didn't set out in college to be an entrepreneur. You actually came out to UCSB to study marine biology?
Yeah, I wanted to transfer into UCSB. I originally started going to SBCC, and then so August was the time that I was having troubles with my dog, and then January I was like, this is like such a great idea. My grandfather had cancer at the time, and he had a Jack Russell that kept attacking his other dogs, so that was really stressful. And then I started talking to people about it, and I realized, like, this could help so many people. And then I went to SBCC, the Scheinfeld Center of Entrepreneurship, and talked to the Julie Sampson there, and she just basically pointed me in the right direction and gave me everything that I needed to be successful.
Now, because you're dealing with animals, you're having to go through a lot of testing. Are there government regulations when you're dealing with an animal product?
No, from my research, there aren't any government regulations, but people love their animals. So,
yes, they do.
You show them this contraption where...
if this were a baby bed, fine, no testing required, yeah.
Yeah, so the veterinarians and the dog trainers that I've gotten endorsements from, they basically want me to test out a wide variety of dogs with different problems before I actually get the endorsement.
And how long is that process going to be, or do you even know?
I do know. So basically, my plan is the next 6 months, I'm doing testing for dogs under 25 pounds because 40% of the dog population is under 25 pounds. And then I'm launching my Kickstarter at the end. And within those 6 months, I'm preparing for my Kickstarter and doing the testing. And then after that, I'm doing it for medium dogs, and then large dogs, and then extra large dogs. Because
when you say Kickstarter, are you specifically going to go to the Kickstarter, or are you going to do Indiegogo? Because I know there's a whole bunch of them now.
I'm doing Kickstarter.
I like
Kickstarter.
What made you decide that?
I like the fact that you don't get any money unless you hit that target. So I feel like that pressure makes you work harder. And that's
and then people are buying the product.
Yeah,
as
you
well,
can buy the
too.
product on Kickstarter, and then you get the first one out. As Richard, our engineer, was asking about.
I like that idea. Why the name Umbii? What is
Umbii?
it? Want to say it again?
Umbii.
I thought it was Umbii.
Yeah, it's Umbii.
Umbii.
It was originally called Dog Spot, but there's 25 other stores in the U.S. that are using that name, so I really wanted to come out with something unique. And when I got my puppy, he looked like an Umbii dog. So
and now you have Rhett Butler to thank, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit I want to know about the summer accelerator program you took, because we're hearing more and more about these accelerator programs. What was it like? What did you learn? And do you feel like you had to have the knowledge going in, or did you?
So I actually originally didn't get into the program. I kept calling them, and then I was like, I knew there was like a money prize, then you can pitch at Bicara, and I called Dave Ardenetto, and I was like, I really want to be part of this program. So he was like, all right, you can sit in the classes. So originally going, and I was just sitting in the classes. Yeah, I crashed, and then 2 weeks later, I was funded $6,000, and 2 weeks after that, I was, but the incubator was like amazing because after I took one class at SBCC, I was really lost. And as a young entrepreneur, there's so many things that you have to be aware of, that you have to, do. So I was just lost. And within that program, we had sales training, we had business model canvas training. I was introduced to a lot of successful entrepreneurs that kind of took me under their wing. And, whenever I needed help with something or whenever I got stuck, I just call them and they're like, okay, we'll do this, this, and this. Or it's like, get your financials done. And then I get my financials done and I turn them in and it's like, oh, well, you didn't think about this, this, or this. So the guidance and the amount of knowledge and then the money as well. I'm incorporated as an LLC. I have manufacturing in China.
Wow, that's a lot. You've learned a lot in a very short period. Now, you're also a member of Impact Hub Santa Barbara. Do you use their educational opportunities there? Because I know they have a lot of mentorship.
I do, and I love Impact Hub. They spoil me for sure. But,
oh boy.
So there's a wide variety of mentors. Gary Baker, he's an innovative mentor, so he's really been helping me with product development, my road mapping. Diana Pereira. Diana Pereira helped me a lot with my financials. And not only does Impact Hub provide you mentors that have, business consulting, but also self-help coaches there. So within this whole process, starting a company could be very stressful. So, I have massages there, meditation, yoga, Pilates, and soup. So they provide soup.
So when you run out of money, you can have some free soup.
You are obviously relatively young, and I don't know what your job history is, but have you had a job before where you're more in the typical going to work 9 to 5 type of thing compared to what you're doing now? Or
no, this job I would say is 9 to 12. but I was actually a waitress.
Oh, okay.
So that was my specialty, was waitressing. I love taking care of people, and
Well,
people.
you've got a great smile. It would be hard not to tip you well.
Thank you.
So in the Impact Hub situation where you're co-working there, aside from utilizing people that are sort of mentors to you, have you noticed that you're also collaborating with other people? Have other people that are in workspaces there given you ideas, or do you tend to bounce ideas off of them? Or?
Yeah. So actually, back in August, I was applying for a Shark Tank, and I needed a video.
The Shark Tank?
The Shark
Tank.
I
love that show.
Yes, and I needed a video interview, so a video. And there's a guy there named Nick Oyama, and he's with Visual Era. And, within 2 days, I had a video that I could send in.
That's incredible. Have you heard back yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, well, you'll have to send them this MP3 to listen to, because I'm looking at you, think you'd be so good on Shark Tank. I mean, Mr. Wonderful, you would soften him.
Well, that was actually before the patent was allowed. So now that I have the patent, it's... there's more
because
likelihood
that would be one of their first questions.
Oh, I'm getting on Shark Tank.
And how do you protect the patent? She was anticipating
You'll see
that.
me.
Aside from, is Umbii, am I saying it right now? Do you have other business ideas perculating?
I definitely do, but I mean, as a creative
Smart
entrepreneur,
enough not to share them with the world right now.
Yeah, I'm really focused on launching this, and as nice as those other ideas are and viable, it's just I have to focus. This is my baby,
Which always seems to be a key to success. We get entrepreneurs on here, and it's they got an idea and they stuck with it. What do you imagine the price point being for this bed?
$200.
$200. You've got that all planned in advance. Do you imagine you're going to be retail or more online?
So first, I'm actually planning on using veterinarians and dog trainers as my main distributors, and then I plan to go online. And the reason for that is because if you have these stories and this content with veterinarians and dog trainers, your conversions for online are higher. So if I just
they're recommending it. Okay.
So if I just went online, I would have to pay for a lot of ads, but 10% would convert. Whereas if I had
Wow, that's really
the
So
other
clever.
content.
if somebody is interested, like our engineer here would like one for his dog, aside from waiting until you get on Shark Tank, where can people get information? Are you doing pre-sales? What's happening?
So you can go to www.umbii.com, and then you could enter in your email address, and then it asks you like the weight of your dog, which problems are you having with the dog, and then once we get to that point where we're launching that product or even developing that, I'll give you a call.
Okay, you said,
Personally.
I have to ask you because you said we. Are you working with anybody else?